Loneliness is not just a feeling. It is a neurobiological state that alters brain function, even when you think you're just spending time alone. Today, neuroscience shows that prolonged periods of isolation activate brain systems linked to vigilance, emotional memory, and self-reference. And the most impressive thing, this reprogramming happens silently, without warning, and cumulatively. For thousands of years, being alone meant risk. That's why the brain reacts to loneliness as a warning sign. The first area to respond is the amygdala, which increases its sensitivity to potential threats, even when there are none. That's why you become more alert, more reactive, more in tune. After that, the brain tries to compensate for the lack of a social connection. It activates the default mode network, the network responsible for introspection, imagination, and memory review. That's why when you're alone, your mind starts revisiting old stories, analyzing forgotten emotions, and reconstructing internal narratives. The prefrontal cortex then tries to organize all of this, as if putting together an emotional puzzle. It tries to give meaning to the sensations, memories, and interpretations that arise when the outside world falls silent. And here's the deeper part. The more time you spend in isolation, the stronger these internal pathways become. It's like drawing a light line on paper and reinforcing that line every day until it becomes permanent. Solitude can create deep reflection, but it can also generate silent anxiety. And the difference between the two depends on how your mind interprets that space. Perhaps you have already experienced this. Moments when loneliness has enlightened you, and others when it has pulled you inward until you lost your sense of reality. Loneliness reconfigures the brain because it increases the activity of internal self-reflection networks, as if the brain were saying, if there are no stimuli outside, I will explore everything inside. But here's the key point. Solitude is neither good nor bad. It is a neutral space, an emotional territory that can heal or hurt depending on what you feed into it. The brain is plastic. It learns. If loneliness turns into fear, it registers that. If it turns into healthy introspection, it registers that too. In the end, the truth is simple. Loneliness shapes you, but you can also shape the experience of loneliness and turn it into something that strengthens you. Turn it into solitude. And before I finish, I want to leave you with a thought, and I really hope you participate in this in the comments. Loneliness takes many forms. For some, it is internal noise. For others, it is too much silence, but your experience, only you know it. So I want to ask you something that activates exactly that part of the brain we talked about today, the introspection network. When you are alone, what changes most in you? Your way of thinking, your creativity, or your emotional sensitivity? Write in the comments, not to help the channel, but to better understand what loneliness does to your own mind. And as you write, know this: the more you observe your own inner world, the more aware you become of how your brain is shaping your life. If this video has made you think a little differently, then maybe it's worth exploring this together. See you in the next video. And now, it's your turn. What does loneliness change in you?